If you're looking to make money as soon as possible and you're looking for the fastest and easiest way to do that, then there's only one business in the world that you need to look at right now, which is actually a business you can start with $0 and you can start making money this weekend. Yes, that's right, this weekend. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what this business is, how you can get it set up and running within the next 30 minutes or so, and how you can actually get started making money right away. So let's get into it. Okay, so what kind of business can you realistically get started with that you can start making money with this weekend that costs $0 to get started with? Well, I'm going to share with you something that you might have already heard of and something that it can start making you money right away. Now, mind you, I'm going to warn you in advance that it's not going to make you millions of dollars. It's not going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. In fact, it's probably not going to even make you tens of thousands of dollars per month. However, it can make you quite a bit of money. In fact, it could probably start making you a couple $100s per week right away, and then ultimately get up to the couple $1,000s or more per week in the next, say, couple of months. And you can realistically make $10,000 or more per month with this business if you hold to it, if you build up your reputation, and if you stick to it, okay? The cool thing is, like I said, you can literally get started in this business this weekend. In fact, you could set everything up within the next 30 minutes or so, and I'm going to share with you exactly how to do it on my laptop, all right? In fact, I should mention really briefly that if I lost everything and I had no money to get started with a business, but I at least had a computer and an internet connection, this is exactly what I would do, and I would hustle my butt off to make it happen, because this is probably the fastest, easiest, and cheapest way that you'll ever find in getting into some kind of cash flowing opportunity. So let me go down into my laptop, show you exactly what I'm looking at, what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to show you a brief demonstration of exactly what the business is, how to find out what the best opportunities are as a professional, and how much money to potentially expect for each job that you're going to be doing, all right? So let's get into it. So take a look here. You'll see, and I'm jumping on my laptop here right now. So right now, you're going to be looking at Fiverr.com. So this is Fiverr.com. And this is a free website that you can use to be able to get gigs. There's other websites out there like guru.com, for example, but this is probably the fastest, easiest, and you know, if you're looking to make money quickly and you're willing to do low-paying gigs for a while, then this is the best way to do it. And so all you need to do is go in the upper right-hand corner, click on the join button, and you could choose which option you want to use to join if you don't already have an account, and you could just use your Google account if you happen to have Gmail or another email, or you can log in with your Facebook account. It's completely up to you on how you want to do this. And if you want to go all in and you know you want to be a professional with this, then maybe first of all you might want to go to GoDaddy.com, and for example, let me show you really quick. So if you want to be super professional and you want to spend a little bit of money, you don't have to do this, by the way. But if you did want to be professional, then maybe you want to go to GoDaddy.com, find some kind of domain that would maybe match the future business that you want to have, or kind of match what you want to do. And you could just say something like freelancerpro.com, and I'm sure that's probably taken, but you might be able to get an alternative. Like say, for example, you want an alternative, because the cool thing about their AI system on GoDaddy.com is that they'll offer you alternatives that are super cheap. So you can make this your domain, and you can pay next to nothing for it for the first 3 years. And so you can not only get this domain, say for example we say make this yours because we want to be professional with our business starting off on the right foot. Then what we'll go ahead and do is we'll put this into the cart and say I only want to pay for 1 year, okay? And by the way, you don't really need the full domain protection at all, so you can shut this off. And then you'll notice right here that when you go to the cart, so you continue to the cart, you can actually get the El Budgeto, I call this the El Cheapo email option, all right? So you don't want full domain protection because I think it's a ripoff, especially if you get like put a P.O. box or something in there to make sure that people don't have your personal address. Now here's the most important part here. So what you want to do is you want to get the cheapest email possibility here, which is this one, the Email Essentials, which is 99 cents a month. And so when you check out with your new domain, then you have now an email, a professional email. And so it's going to be basically, see how it says you at the freelancerpro.com. You could put your name, say your name is Mary. So Mary at the freelancerpro.com, you could put there, or you could just do info at or support at or whatever you want to do. You can have as many aliases as you like. So if you don't like Mary at the freelancerpro.com after you set it up, then you can always add an alias of info at or support at or whatever the case may be. But this will give you a professional email address. So then that way when you do go into Fiverr.com and you want to start your new account, you could start it with your professional email that you started. Now this is just an optional step. You don't have to do it this way. You could just use your Hotmail or your Yahoo or Gmail, whatever you have, or your Facebook account to be able to sign up for a new account. So Fiverr is the quickest, fastest, and easiest way to start making money, because you can become a professional pretty much doing anything. Now you're probably thinking, well, Monica, what am I going to realistically be able to do? Because I don't know how to do anything. So last week I covered an episode I did with you guys where I basically showed you how you can set up and do letters, legal letters, for credit purposes. You can pretty much do any kind of legal letter using ChatGPT, which is a free service at chatgpt.com. And you can go ahead and go to chatgpt.com. You don't have to pay $20 a month unless you're doing a high volume every single day, in which case you're probably eventually going to have to crack down and spend a whopping $20 a month for your successful business, which I'm hoping you're willing to do at some point. But for now, you can use the free service at chatgpt.com, and you can create these legal letters for people who simply don't know how to do it. There's a lot of people that are looking for legal letters. You don't have to be an attorney to create a legal letter for them, and there's a ton of people that need legal demand letters and all kinds of different legal letters, and you can charge upwards of, like, say, $50 per letter. Now, in the beginning, you're probably not going to be charging $50 per letter. You're going to start off charging between $5 and $10 per job, or $5 per page. So if it's a 3-page letter, that's $15. And what you want to do is build up as many testimonials as possible. So you want to get your first 10 to 12 testimonials right away, and you want them to be raving reviews. So you want to have a quick turnaround time, have the most professional letter you could possibly create for them, and then get a bunch of really raving review 5-star testimonials. And then you can start slowly but surely increasing not only your rates, but also the types of letters and reports, maybe even business plans that you can provide, because a lot of people who are looking for business funding are looking for people who can do business plans. And yes, ChatGPT can actually churn out a really good business plan as long as they give you all the data and information that you need to put in there, which they're going to be required to do so anyway, because you can't just whip up a business plan without any information about their business. So they're going to provide basically all the details, and you just cram all that stuff into a ChatGPT prompt and have ChatGPT create the business plan for you. So that's how you can start getting higher dollar amounts. So yeah, it's going to suck the first, say, 12 jobs, because you're going to be getting $5 a job, but you can do those first 12 jobs within a week or so. And then after that, you slowly but surely start increasing. You're going to have repeat customers as well as new customers of people who want these legal letters who don't know how to use ChatGPT yet. Yes, ChatGPT is so new. You're probably thinking, well, Monica, everybody and their mom knows how to use ChatGPT. No, they don't. Many people have no idea how powerful this tool is. And so before everybody and their mom realizes that it exists, you might as well make some money off of it, and you can turn out these letters within a few minutes. So I'm going to share with you exactly how fast you can create a legal letter that you can sell to people, and it's going to be different and custom for every single customer or client that you have on Fiverr.com. And then you can have your little tile and post your jobs that are available. So I'm going to share with you some of the people that are on Fiverr.com that are offering this service and how much money they're making. So when I go to Fiverr.com and I type in, say, legal demand letter, I'm going to type in legal demand letter. You'll find that there's a lot of people that offer that. A lot of them are attorneys. If you used to work as a paralegal, that's great, because then you could say that you were a former paralegal. That's great, but you're never going to say that you're an attorney if you're not one, and you don't have to be one. But what people specifically look for are people who are in the United States who are native English-speaking people, because there's so many people out there that are trying to work from places like Vietnam and Cambodia and the Philippines, and people just don't trust those services anymore, just because simply you don't get the quality of the work, you know, when you're dealing with people who don't have English as their first language. So you could take a look. You can write any of these things, and you could do it within ChatGPT, and you do not have to, again, you do not have to be an attorney to do any of this. Of course, you're never going to say you're an attorney, but you do not have to be an attorney to be able to do these legal letters, and they're in such huge high demand. So, for example, you click on this one here, and here are the different kinds of things that this particular professional does. I'm going to click out of this. And so she does all kinds of different things, including motions, including all kinds of different legal documents. If you don't feel like you are confident or competent to be able to do that, then you'll just stick with legal letters, especially cease and desist letters. Cease and desist letters are pretty good because people love cease and desist letters, legal threat letters. You could do any of those kinds of letters. Now maybe you're thinking, well, Monica, I don't know if I feel good about this letter thing. What else can I do? Well, first, let me share with you how easy it is before you talk yourself out of this and think, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Let me tell you exactly how easy this could be. So you go to ChatGPT over here. I'm already logged in. And I'm going to basically just write a very simple cease and desist letter. So write a cease and desist letter against a creditor who is harassing me, and include all relevant case law and federal laws from an alleged creditee. I don't even know if that's a right word, but it's not. All right, alleged, I would say customer or something. Okay. Then, okay, I would just put that because we don't know the name of the creditor and all that other stuff. Your client will provide all that. But I'm going to show you, I'm just trying to show you the power of ChatGPT and how this works and how it could churn out an incredible letter that can even beat out what most attorneys can write within just a few seconds. So as long as you use the right prompt, this is what you got, all right? So see how fast this will churn out a cease and desist letter against a creditor who's harassing you. And it basically includes all this. Of course, when you get all your client's information, your client's info will be here, today's date will be here, the creditor or collection agency name is here, and the address is here. You'll know all of this before you plug it into ChatGPT, so then ChatGPT will fill all this in for you. And so this basically is so cool because take a look at this. This is a whole letter here, including all the cited case law, including the federal statutes that are relevant to this. It includes all of these different things. And what's cool about this is all you need to do is provide this in a Microsoft Word document to your client, and then tell your client to send this by way of certified mail or trackable U.S. Postal Service mail. And that's it. And within 2 seconds, you've created a letter. You're going to lay this letter into a Microsoft Word document, save it for your client, and then upload it into the Fiverr system as a completed document. So that's how easy it is. And this is, you can make $5 for this, or maybe $10 for this. You know, I know it seems like you're not making a lot of money when you're doing these types of gigs, but what we want to do is do as many gigs as we possibly can for the first, say, 10 or 12 to get all of those raving 5-star reviews, and then we can start working into other types of documents, okay? So maybe you're just like, okay, Monica, I don't know if I want to do a bunch of letters like that. I don't feel comfortable with this. Business plan. So if you take a look, business plan, you'll be able to make a little bit more money to create a business plan. So you can see people are doing business plans for between $30 and $120 and $200. There's a lot of people that are doing all kinds of business plans. This lady here, she's got a pitch deck. But she's charging just under $2,500 to do a business plan. So if you want to up the ante and you think, okay, well, maybe I can create a business plan using ChatGPT, yes, you actually can, as long as your client provides all the information, which technically they have to. You can't fill in the blanks on what the name of their business is, you know, how much revenue they think they're going to get, the types of, you know, nuts and bolts that go into the business plan as far as all of the nitty-gritty elements. They have to provide all that to you. So you literally take, copy and paste everything that they provide. When they place their order, they have to provide all the different details of their project. You basically copy and paste all of that and you put it into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will create a business plan within mere seconds, okay? That's the cool thing about this, and that's how you can make more money, is creating business plans. So once you get all of your letters going and get as many $5 raving 5-star reviews, Then maybe you want to go into this, because now you have a bunch of 5-star reviews that you'll be able to showcase, so that you could start charging between $50 and $100 to start to do a business plan that might be about 10 pages or less. Okay, and then slowly but surely you'll increase your price as you get more and more reviews. And so this is how you can make anywhere from a couple $100s per week to even thousands of dollars per week. So if you're one of these people who are like, Monica, I really need to start making money like yesterday, this is how you can do it. This is how you can do it for free. You can use ChatGPT for free. You can get a Fiverr account for free. And all you need to do is take a look at what other competitors in that space are doing, emulate what their bio looks like. You want to have a friendly, smiley picture. There's a lot of people that have avatar pictures. You do not want an avatar picture. Have a smiley, nice picture where you're standing outside in the backyard against a nice tree or a bush or something really nice and, fun and happy. And you want to take a nice selfie of yourself smiling. And you want to have that as part of your profile picture. And even more importantly, you want to have a good, really short video, 30 seconds or less, of what you can do to help people. You want it to be friendly, you want it to be bubbly, you want it to be enthusiastic, and you explain, I'm a professional that does legal letters, and if somebody's harassing you, including and especially creditors or collection agencies, I can help you. I can give you a letter within the next couple of hours. And this letter will not only have all the cited case law, but it will also include all the federal statutes, and you will be protected when you have these letters that you send to your creditors, or whatever the case may be. It could be business plans or whatever, but you want to have a fun, exciting, enthusiastic, video intro to yourself. These videos are critical when it comes to getting really good gigs on Fiverr.com, or pretty much any platform nowadays. So we're in a gig economy. This is where all the money's at. And what I like about Fiverr, especially when you're dealing with Americans that are in the United States or North America, is that North Americans or Americans typically seek out other Americans, which means that if you're in the United States, you have a definite upper hand, because people will purposely avoid dealing with people in other countries because of the language barrier issue. So people have been burned, who are people who hire a lot in the United States, by people who are outside of the U.S. because of the barrier in the language. They don't understand what they want. So people now purposely avoid that, which means if you're in the United States, you have a much higher percentage of getting these jobs than people that are outside of the U.S., because people are definitely seeking out people who are Americans and who are English speaking. They will literally filter you out to see who are the Americans who speak English. And that's how you can gain an upper hand in getting a lot of these jobs, because I know it seems intimidating when you look on the website. You're like, holy moly, there's so many people that are competing for these jobs. But if you take a look, most of them are out of the country. And a lot of people in the United States don't want those people. So you might think that you don't have an upper hand, and you really do. You are cutting away all the competition just in the mere fact of where you're at and where you exist in the world, and that your first language is English. So this is the fastest, easiest way, cheapest way to start a business. Like I said, you could start the business this weekend and start getting going. If you're not sure what your bio should look like, take a look at people who are longtime sellers on Fiverr who have a ton of reviews, and take a look at what their bio looks like and emulate it. And if you're not sure how to emulate it, just simply emulate their bio, copy and paste it, put it into ChatGPT. It's funny, I know, but it's like you use ChatGPT for everything, and just say, hey, recreate this bio, but but make it for me, and then put your own information in there as well. So just say, I would like to emulate this person's bio. Here's their bio, and here's my information, and put my information in there, and just change it up and make it fresh and different. And ChatGPT will create a bio for you for your Fiverr.com account. Yes. And it will create a listing of all of the services that you have. And you just take a look at what their levels of service. Everybody has 3 different tiers usually. They'll have a $5 tier and a $25 tier and maybe a $50 tier, or whatever the case may be, depending on what you're offering. And just emulate the people that are most successful on Fiverr, who are doing really well, and you want to emulate the kinds of services that they provide, as well as their pricing and their bios. And so that's how you can whip together a full-on profitable business that costs you nothing within the next 30 minutes or so. So instead of binge watching that next episode of whatever you're binge watching on Netflix, why don't you set up your business right now on your laptop and start making money, because it's needed. People are struggling right now, and having a side hustle business is not going to be kind of a luxury on the side. It's not going to be something that's, you may or may not want to do. It's something that's going to be required if you're going to survive and thrive in the months and years to come. because if you haven't seen it yet, like how hard things are getting, it's just going to get harder. So try to set up your business now, start getting those 5-star reviews and start gaining traction, so then that way you're not doing all of this when you're desperate, because when you're desperate you tend to push people away. It's just an energy thing. You kind of push, customers away when you're coming from that point of desperation. So if you found that this was helpful and useful, give me a nice thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel. If there's anything that you want to talk about, you want me to talk about on my channel as far as starting businesses, getting cash flow going, making money, definitely drop that in the comments down below, because I want to serve you and help you as much as I possibly can, because that's what I'm here for. Also, if you have not joined my free group, it's at school.com/Monica Main. Again, that's school.com/Monica Main. Down in the description box below, you'll see it. It's free now, but it's going to be a paid monthly subscription pretty soon. So if you get in for free now, you lock yourself in forever for free. So you want to get into that group. There's over 5,000 of you like-minded, awesome, amazing individuals who are not only networking amongst each other, but learning how to repair and rebuild credit, as well as getting that ultimate cash flowing side hustle opportunity going. I have a ton of free trainings, some downloadable books in there as well. So you definitely want to jump on that while you still can. And finally, I do have a free training coming up for my AI freelance opportunity. So if you want to know more about how you can get bigger paying jobs, because maybe you don't want to just make $20, $30, $40, $50. You definitely don't want to be just making $5 forever, right? Well, I have a way where you can actually start making thousands of dollars per paid gig, and there's only one way to do it. So I'm going to be offering a free training. If you go to school.com/Monica Main, I will be doing that training very soon for AI freelance opportunities, as well as being able to show you exactly step by step how to access these gigs, even on the Fiverr platform, where you can not only make just a few $100s per gig, you're making a few $1,000s per gig, and there's only a certain type of gig that you can do that. And so I'm going to be covering that in my upcoming training. So down below, you'll get information on exactly how to access this training. All right. So again, thumbs up, subscribe. This is Monica Main signing off. I will see you in the next video.